I'm Patty Ann Brown, and you are in the strategy room. Republicans are gearing up for the final debate before the Iowa caucuses. But one candidate who will not be on the primetime stage is the frontrunner, Donald Trump. He says he will not attend the Fox News Google presidential debate. And here now to weigh in are Democrat Joe Listingi and Republican Charmaine Yost, both in D.C. Thank you both for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Charmaine, will this help the other candidates?
I think actually this is playing right to where Donald Trump wants things to go. He's the reality TV candidate, and having yet another debate just really didn't fit his narrative arc. He decided he wanted to shake things up, make it more like reality TV, and have some big, explosion of something different happening. And so, of course, now he's driving the narrative, he's driving the news cycle, and I don't think it is actually a terribly good thing for the other candidates.
Well, it does give them more time, but in any case, here's the story. Apparently, Trump was demanding that Megyn Kelly be removed as one of the three moderators. There was a back and forth between Trump and Fox News. It got sort of ugly. Trump calling Kelly a lightweight, a third-weight reporter. His rep even threatening Fox News, saying, quote, Megyn had a couple of rough days after that last debate. We would hate for her to go through that again. Fox responding with a statement that, quote, the Ayatollah and Putin both intend to treat Donald Trump unfairly if he becomes president. It's a snarky statement, but if Trump backed out of the debate because he was annoyed by it, Joe, does that prove Fox's point? He's too thin-skinned. As president, he will have to deal with people he doesn't like.
Well, I do think that this is an important talking point every other candidate on the stage should reiterate, which is Megyn Kelly scared him off this stage, and they should talk about how this isn't the only time a president or presidential candidate has to make a tough decision. Now, the field as it's set right now can benefit if they play their cards right. If they stick to their strategy and go after him and his sort of move not to show up, which could be called gutless or cowardly because he's afraid of them. If they can get the airtime that they need and push that narrative forward as a group, if they cooperate and push that narrative forward, it could help them as the field. I mean, it's the ultimate prisoner's dilemma. If they all cooperate, they'll gain. Trump broke out. He's trying to gain on his own. This is you could say it's a smart move by him, but the field could exploit this, and I hope they do because I'm loving this circus.
Well, Patty Ann, can I jump in on this, because I think it's really a dicey thing. The odd thing that everyone has been wrestling with Donald Trump is the more you attack him, the more people talk about him, the more his name is out there, and it only seems to help him. He is really the bully on the schoolyard, and the only way that a bully gets taken down is if he becomes a target of laughter. All of us who've watched enough Hollywood movies to know that's the case, and so I agree with you, Joe, that the other candidates have to talk about him leaving the debate, but they have to be very careful that it's more of a poking fun at him rather than a critiquing him from a policy perspective, because he's doing this deliberately. It's part of his strategy to get people to be talking about him.
Yeah. We do have the Iowa caucus less than a week away. This does give the other candidates more time to make their points. Joe, what is the number one thing that these presidential hopefuls need to get across to voters?
In Iowa in particular, there's two things. Number one, there's a big fight for the evangelicals in Iowa right now, and I think that's where Donald Trump may have just hurt himself a little bit, because they do believe in their politics and they do believe in this process, so that's one section he could have hurt himself in. The biggest focus this close to Iowa caucus day is organization, because caucusing is a very hard process for those who don't do it regularly, and that's wherever the big question mark in the Trump campaign sits. Does he have the organization to get these caucus goers into a room to actually compete in the caucus, because it's not just a vote. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Now, that being said, given our previous discussion, the strategy that he employed on this debate, if it doesn't work, if he loses Iowa, it could set him back in New Hampshire, and that's something they've got to consider. This is a big day for them on the 1st. It's going to be a lot of fun, and there are going to be fireworks everywhere. Everyone needs to tune in.
Yeah, we will have to see what happens. And thank you for the plug for Fox News there. Joe Listingi, Charmaine Yost, thank you both so much for joining us.
Great to be with you.
And for more on the Fox News debate, go to foxnews.com. I'm Patty Ann Brown. Thanks for watching.